So once you have that off, now it's time to put on the new screen, which might be the trickiest part of the whole ordeal, but it's not that hard. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up these two flexes in this little hole over here. So I'm going to do it like this at an angle. So you kind of guide them in there. You can see them coming out on the other side and gently pulling them through. So you're going to start guiding in at the top. So what's really important is that these cables stay the same length. If one of them gets caught in there, there we go. If one gets caught and is shorter than the other one, then they won't connect and your LCD will most likely not work since it won't connect. So as you got that in there, your next job is to align the little brackets behind both these screws and the washer. So you're kind of going to just shake it around a little bit. You can see they're aligned in there. I'll switch to the other side. You can see they're not quite in there yet. There we go. And check, make sure your button works. Check out the seams. Everything's looking good. All right, so you have successfully put on the new screen. Cables are looking good. And now before we go ahead and put it all back together, we're going to test out the new screen. So we're going to tighten these. And tighten the 6 on the side. All right, and then you're going to place your logic board back in here. So with the logic board, you're going to bend all of these out of the way very gently. Kind of gently guide this in there. Kind of goes in at an angle. And you just lay it down. There we go. Since it's in there, you're going to want to put in one screw. I like to put in this very bottom left-hand corner screw because the double-threaded screws can be really tricky sometimes. So this is just the easiest screw to put in. Oh, actually mine is not sitting all the way in there. There we go. Now we can put this in. It's only if it wants to cooperate. Come on. There we go. We just need one screw to kind of secure the whole thing in. Because then you're going to go ahead and reattach everything. So we're going to put these 5 here. So you've got 1, 2, 3 goes up here. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3. And 4. Make sure that's nice and tight. 5. There we go. So we've got those 5 up there. We'll fold this over. We'll connect this one here. You don't need to worry about attaching the antenna. There we go. That one's in. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the battery. So I'm going to bend that there and just gently clip that in there. You can hear it clip. All right. Everything looks good. Battery in. Let's see what happens. Aha. So we'll let that turn on here for a minute. I'm going to make sure the touch sensitivity works, your home button works. The home button is ripped. It's pretty easy to replace, but if you are trying to replace the home button and the cracked screen isn't present, you'll have to very gently remove the screen without cracking it. All right, let's see. Really, phone? There we go. touch sensitivity is working. For a second there, it didn't look like it was working. Well, I don't know if we can calendar. Let's make sure our home button works. Home button still works. There we go. Once you've made sure of all of that, power that back down. All right. I'll go back here. Take the battery back out here. I'm going to need to unconnect this and unconnect everything here. And remove this one screw. All right, we're going to take the logic board back out. Now we're going to put the 4 corner screws, which accidentally got moved, back into the phone. One. 2. 3. 4. All right, and the reassembly is just as easy as the disassembly, and we'll go through that now. So once you've got these 4 in and you've got your 6 on the sides are all tightened, next you're gonna put in this little vibrator here, lest you forget. It's really fun to put it all together and realize that you didn't put the vibrator in because it does sit underneath the logic board. So you've got that in. You're gonna go ahead and gently put the logic board back in here, just kind of tilting it up and down. There we go. Make sure all of your cables are not crunched under there. We're good to go. I'm gonna put this one screw down here just to keep it all in place. See that. Now, before I connect those, I'm going to go ahead and place the little metal bracket up here near the camera again. I'll tuck that in there. And get that nail in there, or screw. Oh, come on, you. There we go. That one's in there. Okay, now we'll connect these. I'll show you again. We've got 1. Have to feel around. 2. Number 3 goes up here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Here we go. So those are nice and secure, and then we're going to go ahead and back over here and reattach our little antenna, and you should hear it. Clicks in there. You can feel that it's on there. Now we're going to put those 3 screws that hold the logic board in, and these are our double piggyback screws. So starting down here at the bottom, got this big one down here at the battery connector. Put that one in. I got the one up here in the middle. So what I like to do is put my nail or my whole finger over where these little connections are, because it's very easy for your screwdriver to slip and nick one of those connections. And if you nick one of those connections on the logic board, you are pretty much out of luck. Your phone will no longer turn on. That's actually attaches a charging port and the microphone and the home button and all that good stuff. So if you nick that, the phone is it soldered onto the logic board. So if you wanted to fix it, you'd have to get someone who knew how to solder that kind of stuff on. But I've yet to attempt one of those repairs, so. All right, and then we have the big one up here at the top. I'm sure you've noticed that all of my screwdrivers are magnetized, and the easiest way to magnetize a screwdriver is you just, I know I have a magnet over here. Aha. So you just take like a normal magnet and put it here and then run it to the end like this a few times. It's pretty much the poor man's way of magnetizing a screwdriver, but it works very well. Since we've got that in there, we'll put this little shield back in here. We've got that screw there. All right, and then we're going to place the camera back in here, and this little leg on the camera actually needs to sit underneath the connections. So you're going to lay it in there. It's just I'm gonna connect that there. Oh. Now, of course, my camera, there we go. All right, my camera is in and we're good. And next we'll put this shield on. So with this shield, I'll do this up close for you here. These two little legs on the bottom here need to go into, there's two little slots right there. You're going to kind of get those in there. And then, or it's going to be difficult. There you go. And then it just sits on there. And this cable is sitting outside of that, which is good. All right. So got that shield on. And so then the one big screw, the one differently sized screw in the shield. Some of the other shields, like in the GSM model, this top screw is very important. It's very long and it actually serves as like a grounding connector. So in the other models, I would recommend keeping track of which screws belong to which holes. But in this one, it's fairly simple because the one largest one attaches it to the side over here, and then the other small ones just keep it in place. Come on. All right, so we've got that shield in place, and next, let's put this back in here. So this is a little bit tricky. You need these little metal legs need to sit against this lip inside the phone. So they sit underneath of it. You have to be very careful. It's very easy to crack off one of these little legs, and then your Wi-Fi won't work anymore. So what we're going to do, what I would recommend, is very gently come in from an angle like this and then go down. You're going to kind of gently put that in like that. And just kind of gently push it in with both your thumbs. There we go. Those little metal legs are sitting underneath there nice and firm. So I'll hold that with my one thumb and put this back down here. I'll put these screws back in. Okay, and then you're going to want to place this little plastic triangle shield, goes back in here. Slide it right back in there. All right, and next you're going to want to thread your little antenna back into its little silver slots and gently reattach it. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Some people find it much easier to use a spudger. I like to just use my nails because they have more of a feel of when something's actually making a connection. So I've got that on there. And fold this back over. Reattach this main one here. There we go. All right, and then let's put this little shield back on here in the middle. All right, we've got those two, and now you're going to put this little shield that goes over the antenna. This goes right back here. Kind of poke that into place. There we go, sitting over the hole. Get that screw. All right, all we have left is putting the battery back in. So we'll unpeel this silly not authorized tab. Set our battery back down. Make sure it's connected there. Feels good. Nice and solid. All right, I'll tighten that. I'll put the back on here. Place it slightly right above, you'll feel it clip in, and then it's the opposite of what you did to open it. Just push with your thumbs, push it back down into place. And then let's add our last two, oh, come on you, screws. And that's how you fix an iPhone 4 screen. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them on the page. Or if you have any actual questions about the repair and live in Seattle, feel free to give us a call. The phone number is 206-234-8005. And we'd be happy to answer your questions.